Hello, Heathens.
Hello.
I am Godless Mom, aka Courtney.
And I am Mr. Atheist, aka Donovan.
And we are the Common Heathens, and you're here to listen to us basically be idiots.
Yeah. So it's going to be a podcast that we normally do, but live and with video. So it's almost going to be a behind-the-scenes look at our podcast because, as our patrons would know, there is a lot of bloopers and crap that we do and talk about that doesn't make it to the final one. But this time it's going to be all out there for all to see.
Indeed, and we do have a tiny little bit of a delay, so if we are talking over each other, that's why. And just a quick reminder, this is the first time we've ever done this live, so bear with us because there's probably going to be a few hiccups.
Yes, we do have a delay. That was a joke. That was ages ago.
So how are you doing, Oz?
I'm doing well. Yes, thank you. Photography business is going. There is a new website in the making behind the scenes that will be up hopefully in the not too distant future. And I'm selling a calendar, which has done really, really well, even from people from way overseas. So I appreciate that. And you can check that out at badrockphotography.com/2017 calendar. Thank you. And yeah, apart from that, weather has been really good here. Starting to get into summer now, obviously, down in the southern hemisphere. Yes, good, doing well. How about you?
Awesome. We have winter weather. You can't really tell, but that's my window back there. And it's been snowing for like 24 hours, but it's like minus 13 Celsius right now, so it's like not sticking anywhere.
That's like
it's just
minus 13.
Yeah, it's like
13 degrees further than I've ever been. Like, I don't think I've been in minus before. That's so cold.
It is. It's cold, but I don't mind it at all because it's very sunny, as you can tell. I don't know how it's snowing. I think I said to Oz earlier, I think that maybe the snow is blowing off the hill. But anyways, yeah, we're doing good over here, getting ready for Christmas.
All I can see is white behind you. So you're sure it's not just snow, like filled up to the top of the window?
No, that's the light at the end of the tunnel.
Go towards the light.
So this week, or this month, I guess we do it every month, huh? We wanted to talk about, well, you mentioned your calendar, and I just wanted to say a quick thing about your calendar, and that was that it's beautiful, and like Oz has taken the leap and tried to start his own business, and he's working really hard at it. And you can help him out by going and buying one of these calendars, and they're super beautiful. Like, they are breathtaking. So I would definitely hope that you go check that out. And
Thanks,
the
Jim.
other thing, the other thing that I wanted to mention is that we have a live chat, and my husband is in there watching us right now, and he just said, "What a time to be alive." But yeah, we have a live chat, so if you have questions as we go along through this, then just feel free to stick them there.
That's what she said.
Yeah. that was dirty. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
We were going to talk, first of all, about Christmas, because Christmas is coming. So,
it is.
How do you celebrate Christmas, Oz?
Well, very well. I'm quite the expert, actually.
Yeah.
It's a bit different this year, slightly, given that I'm working for myself now. But like, I'm off to a Christmas function tonight for my partner's work. So she was at one, and places I've worked have been like this. There's the little group you work within, which is within a bigger team, which is within a bigger area. And the previous company I was working for is massive, like one of Australia's biggest companies. And there's no possible way they could do a company-wide function, because I think there's like over 40,000 people work for them. But I would have a function with my team, my little group, then my team, then my area, and then the IT department in Melbourne would have a function, and that was the biggest one of all. And then you'd have a function with friends, like, all right, let's all hit the pub. And, you know, you might, because it is such a busy time of year, some might say, I can't make it. So you go, all right, we'll do one with these guys and one with you. And then having a family that was split. So you do something with dad, something with mum. And again, this year, my first Christmas without any parents, so that won't be happening. But I'll get together with my brother and sister. And then my partner's family, we'll get together with them. And then normally on Boxing Day, my dad was one of 10 kids. He's the only one no longer with us. My grandparents are both gone, and lost one of my cousins a couple of years ago. But everyone else is still around. So we're talking 50, 60 people.
Wow.
And yeah, one of my dad's brothers or sisters will host an event on Boxing Day, and everyone rocks up to that. And it's like they put on, you know, a spit or roast and stuff, and everyone brings a plate, and yeah, everyone just sits around talking. And then, so it's lots of food, lots of drink. However, this year on Boxing Day, I'll be at the MCG at 7:30 in the morning for a Melbourne Cricket Club breakfast, which is very swish. It's like a suit and tie job for breakfast, so that'll be very nice. But yeah, I celebrate it well, and I love it. It's one of my favourite times of year. Yeah, and I get really involved in it, and I love doing it. And you can't see it, but just yonder over there is my Christmas tree with my train. I bought this train, big train that goes around it, but it's got this button on it and it plays like Jingle Bells and other Christmas songs. But the train itself is so ridiculously loud that you can't actually hear it. So if the train's moving around, it's just letting out this screech from this little electric motor that it's got. And you can't actually hear the music that it's playing. But it does look nice. And yeah, we've got a few decorations up and stuff. So I'm definitely a Christmas fan.
Yeah, me too. I love Christmas. We have all our decorations up too. And for us, we don't have a whole lot of family around here. Like, our family's kind of dispersed all over the world. So it's just going to be my parents and us four. And we just usually have some drinks on Christmas Eve. And we usually end up playing Trivial Pursuit at some point. And just one of the traditions we have on Christmas Eve is we give each other pajamas, brand new pajamas, and we all get changed into our pajamas on Christmas Eve. So we all just kind of hang out in pajamas and drink.
That is cool. Yeah.
And then in the morning we get up and we just open presents and probably have like some kind of special breakfast or something like that. But yeah, there's no church. There's no church involved at all in my Christmas.
Yeah. Same with me. Like, I have family, my dad's side of the family are pretty much all Catholics, and that's what I was brought up into. And on Christmas Day, there might be one or two who will say, you know, they were at midnight mass and Father Bob or whoever, you know, gave a good sermon, but it's not a Jesus thing. Like, the only person who gets wished happy birthday is my Auntie Noel, who happens to have been born on December 25th. So I make sure that's the first thing I do, is wish her a happy birthday. And then you just say hello and Merry Christmas to everyone. No one is going, well, gee, lucky Jesus was born today. Which but, you know, like, no one, like, I'm sure that the stronger Catholics amongst the group care, but no one mentioned it. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
The Jesus element of Christmas for the things that I do, completely irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same experience. Like, for me growing up in Canada, the whole Christmas thing, the only thing that ever said anything about Jesus at Christmas were the songs we sang, you know, Oh Holy Night and stuff like that. Like, like we sang these songs, and it never really registered with me as a kid that it was religious. Nobody was really religious around me. Nobody went to actually, it wasn't until I started dating John, my husband now, that I even knew anyone who went to Mass on Christmas Eve. Like, that was the first time I ever knew anyone who went to Mass on Christmas Eve. And the only reason why he ever had to go was because he was dragged by other people. And yeah, so it's just not anything to do with religion here. Not even in this small town full of churches where I live now. But it's never been about Jesus. Or
the only time we ever hear about Jesus is if, you know, there's snags or chops on the barbie catch fire or something, and so Jesus.
You stub your toe.
Yeah, you stub your toe. Like, seriously, some pissed uncle falls off his chair. You know, he's been enjoying Christmas a bit too much.
Or you spill the nog on your shirt. Speaking of shirts, we're both wearing Metallica shirts.
Oh, yeah, how about that? Metallica. Have you heard the new album, just as a side note?
Yeah, I heard it once, actually. John played it in the car when we were driving somewhere far away. I can't remember where. Most likely Vancouver.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was when we were driving to Kelowna. Yeah, I liked it. I wasn't, like, put off by it, but it usually takes me a few listens before I'm, like, definitely like, I like stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, Christmas. It's funny when people say stuff like on Twitter. A lot of people say stuff like, "Oh, you're an atheist. Why do you celebrate Christmas?" And I don't understand that thinking. Like, even if it was, let's just say it was totally a religious holiday, and it was. It's just all about Jesus, right? Like, let's just say it was actually about Jesus. It was really his birthday, all of that. Even so, like, wouldn't you want to share that with more people? Like, like, do you really think it's the spirit of, like, what you sell as what Christmas is? Do you really think that's in the spirit of Christmas to say, sorry, you can't celebrate our holiday? Like,
and given that there's this idea that they want to bring people to the flock, like, get them in with Christmas. Like, start, like, sow the seed. Like, if that's what you want, if you want more Christians in the world, go, well, come on, look at our festival. And then, you know, if we're all part of that, we might start going, this Christianity thing, you know, maybe not so bad. So, yeah, I don't know why they get angry. I don't know why they keep it exclusive, because either it is for everyone, Christian or not, regardless, and who cares? Or if it is for Christians, sell Christianity with it and say, you know, this is the good that we can bring to your life. Give us your soul, blah, blah, blah. Crap.
Your soul. Yeah, like,
well, I think we have one.
Wouldn't that be a draw? Like, wouldn't that be, like, don't you think that, like, if I was a Christian and I saw, like, more and more people leaving Christianity, I would think that, like, a big selling point would be Christmas. Like, you'd be happy to hear people are celebrating Christmas, but it just, it's not how it works, because the people who are driven to say stuff like that are just really angry, bitter people, and that's, you know, like, I think those are the people who have their own doubts in their religion, because people just, they don't get angry about stuff like that if they're happy where they are, you know?
Yep. And you know, the other thing that I think, get over it, is when people complain about the commercialism of Christmas and it's all just about the present. Well, so what? I don't care. Like, as if giving gifts is a bad thing. And you know what? Going out and spending your money is actually good for the economy. It's good for society. It actually helps you live in a better place. So it's all good. I don't. The commercialism of Christmas doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, it's not just that, though. It's also the fact that, like, you make your own Christmas. Like, if you don't want to go and spend your money, then don't. Like, keep it in your wallet.
Yeah, if you don't want to do it, no one's forcing you to go and buy gifts.
Yeah, people act like when other people do stuff, like it's like forcing them to do things, you know, and it's just
Yeah.
people are crazy.
We're so easygoing, aren't we? Just live and let live, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you feel about Santa? Telling kids about Santa?
As in telling them there is one?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm for it.
Yeah.
So I grew up believing in Santa. My children grew up believing in Santa. I loved it. The thrill of knowing Santa was coming was just amazing. Like my brother is 10 and a half years younger than me, so we didn't really do Santa together so much. But my sister, who's just a little bit older, like I remember Christmas mornings, she would come into my bedroom, wake me up and say, Santa's been. We'd go out, we'd look at all the presents under the tree, just so excited, run in to see mum and dad, wake them up and do the whole Christmas thing. It never once occurred to me that my mum's writing and Santa's writing were identical. I didn't notice until I went, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm all for it. And I think the joy that you get as a kid from believing in Santa, the magic of it all, far outweighs, you know, that 10 minutes of disappointment when you find out that he's not real. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, I am as well. For me, it's not just like a lot of people say, well, you're an atheist. How can you want to lie to your kid? It's just like lying to your kid about Jesus, blah, blah, blah. And I don't really understand that because it's not even remotely the same thing. Eventually you're supposed to grow out of your belief in Santa, whereas with God, you're supposed to hang on to that forever, right? Like that's a huge difference right there. You know, your belief in God is like it informs a lot of your actions. You know, it informs how you behave and how you live your life, and
your attitudes towards other people.
Yeah, and I mean, belief in Santa can be similar in that you can threaten your kids and say, oh, you're not going to get very good gifts if you're not good this year. You know, you're going to get coal in your stocking. But I never did that with my kids. And I just think I think threatening people is stupid. But but the other reason why I think it's good is because it, like, at least for me, in my experience, it was a huge exercise in critical thought, like, because I had to put together the evidence and figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And I came through it realizing that even my parents don't know shit. Like, even the things that my parents tell me, I can't take as gospel. Like, pardon the pun.
Yeah.
You can't. It was a very, very good lesson, and it's not about the fact that I didn't lose any trust in my parents when I figured out that Santa wasn't real. I didn't lose any trust in them at all because they were honest with me when I confronted them about it. I was like, actually, it was the Easter Bunny. I was like, is the Easter Bunny real? To my mom, and she's like, no.
My mom was so funny when I asked her. I said, Mum, is Santa real? And she goes, do you want me to tell you a little white lie? I thought, well, that sort of gets it up, Mum. You know?
Yeah.
I've got to tell you how one of my cousins found out. So he was a youngster, and my auntie had a best friend who had a boy about the same age. And my cousin was over at their house playing with the other kid, and this other guy had a younger sister, and my auntie's friend pulled the two boys aside and said, now I can't remember the girl's name, but I'll call her Courtney just for the sake of the story. And she goes, now I know you two boys know Santa isn't real, but Courtney still believes, so don't say anything in front of her. But my cousin still believed. That's how we found out that Santa, and he's just gone, what? And like tried to pretend. Yeah. But yeah, that's how we found out that Santa wasn't real, by someone assuming that he already knew that. So that still makes me laugh. But one of my favorite Christmas memories is I knew, well, I had a fair idea that I was getting a BMX bike for Christmas. And we woke up and did the whole presents under the tree thing and no sign of a bike. And my mum said, oh, there's still one more present for your dad out in the garage. Can you guys go and get it, to me and my sister? So we went outside and opened up the garage, and there was my bike sitting there all done up, and my sister had a pair of roller skates there, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So memories like that. I mean, who doesn't want to be part of that? Who would say, you know what, I could feel all that joy with my family and friends and whatnot, but I'm going to choose not to. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either, especially when it's not even remotely the same thing. I think what it comes down to is that there's people who are who have been religious in the past, who kind of feel like they were lied to and duped, and I think that it's like, you know, it's like a scar, and they just are so afraid of doing that to their kids, and that's something that I can totally respect, and because I don't know what that's like. I have no idea what it's like to believe in God and then realize that, you know, it's all a big lie when you're older. I don't know what it's like to feel like I've been lied to by everyone in my life. I don't know what that feels like. So I have respect for people who are, you know, they're just afraid to do that to their kids. And like, I get that. But I think that it's important.
Being lied to. Sorry, go.
Sorry. I think that it's important to, you know, make the differences understood between Santa and God. Like, they're very different things. And there's nothing wrong. Like, you let your kids watch Yo Gabba Gabba, and there's characters on Yo Gabba Gabba that some kids think are real until they get a little bit older. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with thinking Elmo's real until you're, you know, 4 years old. There's nothing wrong with these things.
Elmo?
It's pretend.
Not real? What?
It's pretend, and you grow out of it.
Yeah. But I tweeted in response to a tweet this morning, and the tweet was a pastor, pretty sure in Texas, definitely American, who went to the local mall, and like, he announces what he's going to do. Like, I'm pretty sure he's just filmed it on his phone. And he goes to the local mall where all these families are lined up to have their picture taken with Santa, and starts shouting to the kids that Santa isn't real and that their parents are lying to them and that Christmas should be about Jesus and stuff. And I just, like, who does that? That is insane. That's horrible. That's like, what gives you the right to think that you can take away that joy from those families? Like, I don't get it. But the person who tweeted it with the line, "This is why we hate white people. We just pretend so we can get jobs." And the person who showed me the tweet, I said to them, the person who's tweeted this is just as big a dick as the person in it. Like, I don't know why it became a white person thing. I don't know anybody, white or otherwise, who would do that. So, but anyway, that's sort of beside the point. But like, why would you go to a mall just to tell children that Santa isn't real? Like, there's got to be something seriously wrong in your head. To do that.
Definitely. But I mean, luckily, in a situation like that, you probably appear as crazy as you're acting, and kids are probably able to piece it together.
Yeah, and it would be easy for your mum and dad to explain away that that's just a crazy man being crazy.
Yeah, don't listen to the crazy man.
Because he's crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely for telling kids that there's a Santa when they're little, and letting them kind of figure it out. Because it is, I mean, it was just the most magical time of my life, and I wouldn't want to deprive my son of that. And I hold no anger towards my parents for telling me about Santa. So. Absolutely.
I'm 100% the same.
So I got a comment on Instagram.
Your Instagram comments are the best.
Oh, I know. There are so many crazy Christian people on the intertubes. Or on the Instagram. Intertubes. Uh-oh. Are we not live anymore?
Well, I've got the "We're live" button up in the top, but yeah, someone did ask where we went.
Oh. Hold on.
Are you able to
Stand
see?
by, everybody.
We're not just sitting here, everyone. We're checking to see if we're still live. And if we're not, this doesn't matter. And if we are, that's your explanation for why we're just staring.
I put "We'll be right back. Please stand by."
Okay.
So, hold on. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't see any problems.
Okay.
Should I stop the broadcast and start it again?
Yeah, maybe.